Ladies and gentlemen, I got a bunch of sugar honey iced tea to cover. It's been a long weekend, a lot of stuff going on, and I'm glad I'm able to talk about it today on Monday. So we got the Australian shooting, we got the Brown University shooting, we got Candace Owens and Erika Kirk meeting in person today. We got to talk about it all. Marjorie Greene, so sorry and silly she walked out on the interview. Somebody asking her basic question with a sorry self. We got to talk about that, and also Rob Reiner, his tragic death, and it looks like it's a double homicide. We're going to talk about all of that. Welcome to the Untitled Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Untitled Show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to my The Untitled Show channel. Catch me on the podcast, y'all. I got a podcast. I don't do this for nothing. Y'all download the podcast so we can be number one on the charts, because we're probably the only podcast that's telling the truth all the time. Everybody else is doing all kind of crazy stuff on and off. They change their mind here, there, and around the corner. But B. Tatum has been probably the most consistent. So make sure you download our podcast. Catch me on Substack, all of the above. Let's get into this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about the Brown shooting, which is incredibly troubling. You know, and the weird thing is that I want people to understand, I think this was incredibly, I don't say incredibly targeted. That's an ignorant way to say it. But this was a targeted incident. When you have a person allegedly driving probably over 1,000 miles or so to get to this location, specifically to go into a specific classroom on a Saturday. Normally, colleges aren't hosting anything on Saturdays. So this individual, whom they haven't caught yet, they thought they had a suspect, wasn't the suspect. This individual knew exactly what classroom, knew exactly what was going on in the classroom, and knew that it was something going on a Saturday. To me, that's either a person who's been wronged or felt like that they have been wronged, being a part of this school, a part of this classroom. They had somebody was in love with, they got broken up with. I don't know what the case may be, but it seemed like a person had their eye on this particular classroom. Now, one of the things that have come out right now that's very troubling is the fact that they haven't found the suspect. I think that's probably incredibly troubling, because if they haven't found a suspect, that means the person could have the potential to go and do this at other places. Or if the person went in to kill a certain person or kill as many people as possible, or whatever the case may be, they're at large right now to finish the job, right? I mean, kids are going to be terrified to go back to school because the person may return back to finish what he started. And the reason I say he, because 9 times out of 10 it's a man. Women typically don't do stuff like this in this fashion. But let's get to some of the news clips that's out there. I think one of the clips that I want to showcase was the clip of them not releasing the guy that they originally had in custody, illustrating that there is nobody in custody at this point. So let's roll that clip. I think it's clip 302. Let's roll 302.
That the person of interest that they have now released is not the person in this video, the video that's been seen all around the world, showing a person leaving the scene of the shooting on Saturday afternoon. The AG said while there was some evidence that justified detaining this person, recent evidence and lab testing from the scene is pointing them in a different direction. Providence's mayor, Brett Smiley, says even though the murderer is still on the loose, they are not reinstating a shelter-in-place order that was lifted just before 6 a.m. yesterday and are now instead increasing the police presence.
We will be releasing the person of interest who had been detained earlier today. We know that this is likely to cause fresh anxiety for our community. And we want to reiterate what we said earlier, which remains true, which is ever since the initial call, now a day and a half ago, we have not received any credible or specific threats to the Providence community.
Now, the chief of police here in Providence says a tip led them to the now released person of interest, reportedly a 24-year-old man from Wisconsin. The FBI helped locate him at a hotel 20 miles south of Brown University in Coventry, Rhode Island, where he was detained on Sunday morning. Investigators also admit this video of the person of interest is the best video they have of the potential gunman. They don't have video of the gunman's face. The AG says there was not a lot of cameras inside the engineering building where the shooting took place because it's an old building. Meanwhile, the community here holding a vigil for the 2 students killed and 9 others wounded in Saturday's shooting.
Now let me add something here. You know, after somebody goes and shoots up the school, now they want to increase police presence. I do not understand. Like I want to cuss. I don't understand why we can't be proactive. Hire more police proactively, and therefore they're on campus protecting these students year round. Hire private security. Whatever you have to do, you should have enough security to deter people from coming on campus and doing this. The reason that you see people going to schools and doing this is because it's a gun-free zone. That means there's nobody there. That means there's nobody that's going to stop them from going and shooting up everybody. And I think it's pretty clear that that's what's going on. There's a couple other things that has gone on in the news that I want to point out. Young lady, I think her name was Ella. I could be wrong, but she was a conservative Christian young lady. There was a church service, I guess, honoring her. I want to play the clip real quick of her because it was very sad. It's another young man that was identified as one who had gotten killed. Multiple people killed, even more injured. I think it was 2 that was identified as being killed, and I think it was like 9 others. But this is the young lady. I want to just play this little clip to honor her because it's very unfortunate that she lost her life. I'm not sure if the shooter was targeting her specifically and the other person, or he was just spraying and praying and only got a chance to get to these 2 as far as killing somebody. I wrote a clip.
I want to share a word with you before we sing and before you hear the name in our prayers. It's a tremendous heaviness that is upon our congregation today. Many of you heard about the tragedy which happened at Brown University, the shootings which took place, and a number of young people who died. And sadly, tragically, one of those people is one of our parishioners. Ella Cook was one of those. Richard and Anna Cook's daughter, Hooker, and Mary Hamner's sister was one of those. And for those of you who knew her, who know her, she was a just incredibly grounded and generous and faithful and bright light, both here at the Advent over many years as she was engaged and involved in our worship and in our community, and as she served here at the church and in the wider community. In all sincerity, just a tremendous Ella, a tremendous and bright light in there at Brown University as well. In the time that she was there, was such a light and such a witness.
All right, I just wanted to play this little clip for him, but just to honor her a little bit because I think it's very sad. That's somebody's daughter. It's insane that families have to go through this, man. As a father, I could not imagine my child getting killed on something stupid like this on campus. Just going there trying to get an education. I want to play a couple of the video footage clips of what they report as new camera angles because they don't have the suspect at this point. We don't have a clear motive. The original video footage that they showed us was kind of inconclusive, right? You can't deduce anything from that. But they have some new footage that they want to show, and I want to play this because if anybody knows this person or know of this person or have any tips, please contact the local government there at Brown University. You can do the university police, anybody that has jurisdiction to investigate, please contact them. I wrote a clip.
This is the first video that we're showing you. This is the individual walking. It's on the sidewalk of Benevolent. And this is prior to the incident. Here we go again with this video too, Mike. Again, you see him walking. Move on to the third video. want to, these are some photos of this individual. And they will all be time-stamped. The last photo.
Now, let me explain the reason why they show these what appear to be ridiculous videos. One of the reasons is because whether you recognize it or not, someone who knows this person may recognize that person. Because if you don't know him, looking at a grainy picture of somebody is like, pointless to you. But if you know this person, meaning it's your child, just like the Tyler Robinson's family recognized him from a video that none of us knew. The thing is that when people know you, they know the way you walk, they know your posture, your build, they know the way your facial structure is, they know the type of clothes you wear. And this is the reason why they post videos like this, because it may seem insignificant to somebody who absolutely don't know the guy, like us. But somebody who know them, there's key things, the way people stand, the way people walk, their gait, the way people, the type of clothes they wear, the way they wear their clothes. All of that could be indicators for somebody that's like, that's Kevin. Kevin walk like that. Kevin stands like that. Just a weird way that he walk, with his back straight like this. It can be little clues like that inform the public if you know the person. These videos are not put out there for you to find the person. The videos are put out there in case somebody knows the person and can identify them based on those principles. Now, the people in the media has gotten a tremendous amount of backlash. When I say people in the media, I mean the school's president, the chief of police, and then also Chuck Schumer. He's gotten backlash. I want to play those 3 clips so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I want to interpret the frustration that people may feel based on the way these people are responding. Let's start with the president, because she got grilled. Roll the clip.
President, with all due respect, 6 hours after the shooting, and you said you don't know what was going on in that classroom? How does that happen? Were they taking an exam? Were they meeting for a club?
I don't know.
6 hours later, and you're the president, and you don't know?
I do not know.
Well, that's kind of concerning.
Well, so there's two ways to look at that, right? The president of a university, knowing exactly what's going on and look like a student-led function, meaning it was supposed to be a review. Like I think one of the students was holding a review for tests. It's not scheduled. It's not on a syllabi. So the president may have no idea that this is going on or what the details of the class is, because it's not even on the record, potentially. And so I can understand that, but I can also understand the frustration because it appeared that there's a level of insouciance, which means that the president doesn't seem to care enough to look this up. The president doesn't care enough to want to be briefed on exactly what the heck is going on. And some of these people are more apt to say, I don't really care. I'm going to let the investigators do their job. There's others who say, I do care because these were students at my university and I want to get to the bottom of it or know as much information as I can. Now, the police chief took his licks too. We can go to that clip. I think it's clip 304. Roll that clip.
It's about the process.
The most common question I've gotten in the last 24 hours, it revolves around the fact that Brown University is the most camera-ridden, most conscious piece of real estate in Rhode Island, and yet there seems to be little or no video evidence outside of that clip. Respecting the investigation, is there a lot more video that we're just not able to see yet because of the ongoing investigation, or is there simply no video?
So what we shared with you the other day is what we have that we could share, and then we'll continue to, again, we're continuing to collect evidence. As we speak, we have detectives out there trying to continue to find. So I don't want to tell you that there's no more video because we might find something within the next few minutes. So yes, it's possible, but what we gave you the other day is what we have. Go ahead.
Colonel, if you wouldn't mind.
So let me explain this from a police perspective. There's a few things going on here, right? You don't want to divulge, and then we got to get the ground news. You don't want to divulge too much information, right? You don't want to throw out everything, and you want the suspect to know you got him. So there's times where they don't want to release everything to the public because they don't want the suspect to know we got evidence. They want to throw a little bit out there, right? And then the suspect is looking at what you see on TV and say, oh, they have nothing on me. They got these little grainy, they'll never find me. When in actuality, they could have a lot more evidence, and they're not going to present that to the public. I want people to understand that. They did that in the Idaho thing, and I told y'all that. I said they got way more information. They just don't want to disclose some of that stuff to the public. So in this situation, this could be the case where you don't need to get so frustrated with them because there are other items of investigatory information that they may actually have that they're not going to disseminate and disclose. Y'all have to understand, and I want you guys that watch me to be informed on this, is the investigation is not about you. There's a small obligation for the investigators to disclose to the public what's going on for public interest. But at the end of the day, they have no obligation to you. They're trying to investigate a crime. They're trying to prosecute people, and they want people to go to prison for these heinous crimes that they're doing. They're not sitting around trying to make sure that you're currently informed on the investigation. That's not their job. And to be honest, they shouldn't put a lot of stuff in the public. Now, when they have the suspect in custody, they can release a little more information, but you do not want to taint the jury pool or have any mishaps because your whole case get thrown out and the killer will go scot-free, and then y'all be mad at them for messing up the case. All right, let me go to Ground Out News real quick. I want you guys to see this because if you are considering being informed on a topic, you need to go to Ground Out News because Ground Out News can show you from the left side, from the center, from the right side of the content, what people are saying. It appears to me that when researching this, it's over 246 articles, that majority of the right, the center, and left is saying the same thing. When it comes to tragic events like this, most of the time they try to stay nonpartisan and project the truth. Because this guy did not use an AR-15, allegedly. He did not use an AR-15. It looked like he used a handgun. The naysayers and the leftists aren't talking about gun control as much as they normally talk about. But I want you to go on and visit, if you haven't, Ground Out News. If you can see, I have the Vantage plan, which everything is covered under the Vantage plan, meaning you get access to all of the options here, meaning you can see what outlets are doing what, how many articles are being written by the left, the right, the center. You can go on and see the factuality, the ownership, you name it. You can click, if you want to look at Rhode Island politics, if you want to look at U.S. crime, policing, all of those things you can click so you can stay up and informed from every perspective. And this is why I love Ground Out News, because it gives you the raw and uncut, filtered through every single outlet that's promoting the content. So go to ground.news/Tatum, ground.news/Tatum, and I think you get about 40% off the Vantage plan. If not, look in the comment section, they'll tell you how much you get off. But we're going to give you a discount on the most premium plan, which is the plan that I use, and we're going to go from there. Just to wrap, put a bow on the top of this thing, man. It's very interesting. Hopefully we find out who actually was the shooter in this situation, what the motives were. I'm not really encouraged that we will find it out in a timely manner, but I think that eventually we will. Keeping on that topic of terrorist attacks, the attack in Australia was absolutely insane. This was the craziest thing ever. And this attack made me more upset than the Brown attack. Why? Because you have police not responding to active shooting for about 20 minutes, according to one of the witnesses. 20 minutes of not doing nothing. And that's because they're wussies with a P. They take the guns from the people, and then the police are wussies because they don't deal with violence like this, and then they let their citizens hang out to dry. They should have been immediate. If you're not going to let the public have guns, there should be an immediate response team of law enforcement officers who actually have mother-freaking guns. And this is another example of this jihadist culture. And this is what makes me mad about Tucker Carlson and the rest of these lunatics, is that they spend most of their time talking bad about Israel. Israel is the biggest threat to America. Israel is the biggest threat. Show me somebody with a yarmulke on there shooting up stuff in the name of, I don't know, Judea. Like in the name of the Torah, in the name of the Talmud. Show me somebody shooting it up in the name of the Talmud. Not there's nobody, they don't exist. You ignorant fools. I get so sick of them saying Israel is the big. No, jihadists are the biggest threat to America. They're the biggest threat to the world. Because you won't find Jewish people shooting up a Islamic event. Even though it would make sense for them to shoot it up, given the fact they talk about free Palestine from the river to the sea, that's a direct threat, in my opinion, against Jewish people. And the Jewish people still ain't going out there shooting nothing up. But just the fact that you exist, these leftists, these leftists, extremist jihadists will come shoot you up. Let's get some news clips rolling on this one. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to clip 102. Roll it.
And I want to conclude finally by saying that the government is prepared to take whatever action is necessary. Included in that is the need for tougher gun laws. And this afternoon at 4 o'clock, I will put on the agenda of the National Cabinet tougher gun laws, including limits on the number of guns that can be used or licensed by individuals. A review of licences over a period of time. People's circumstances change. People can be radicalised over a period of time. Licences should not be in perpetuity.
Time out. You stupid mother sucker. Can I say that? That's not cussing, right? Mother sucker? Okay. I want to say with an F. How can you be so stupid and mindless to say something this crazy? We're going to do the restrictions on the amount of guns you can have. You know, the people that's killing people don't give a... Do it look like they were doing something that was lawful? Just explain this to me. Does it look like the father and son duo was following the law that you can't murder people? Did it look like the father-son duo was following the laws that you can't shoot probably openly in the public areas? I guarantee you they probably wasn't supposed to have a gun in the first place. There's nobody else with a gun. There was nobody shooting back. Where? Show me somebody shooting back. Nobody shooting back. Nobody had a gun but the criminal. Okay, let him finish.
And checks, of course, making sure that those checks and balances are in place as well. We will I'll take to National Cabinet this afternoon a proposal to empower agencies to examine...
I'm done. I'm done listening to him. Like, I'm literally going to go to hell at the stuff I want to say about this guy. This is what this is not what they get, because I wish he would have got shot up instead of them, given the fact that he is doing nothing to help his own people. He is not going to do anything. He's going to continue to pitch stupidity because it's politically expedient. You got Australians out there getting smoked because you want to put more laws in place. And I'm telling you, the people that want to break the law and kill you, they don't give a F. Same thing in America. We're going to make gun laws stricter. Okay, to who? The criminal don't give a... No, murder is a higher crime than possession of a stolen gun. And they don't give about murder. What makes you think they care about the possession of a firearm? I feel bad for the people of Australia. I feel bad for the people who are up under the regime or leadership of wussies with a capital P. No spine, no sack, just no fortitude whatsoever. Just complete cowards. You walk up and spit in their wife's face and they won't do nothing. Them kind of guys. That's the kind of leaders that are leading these countries. A guy where a man will walk up and slap his wife on the butt, and he'll turn his head like it never happened. A man will come spit in his wife's face, and he won't defend her honor. That's what kind of wussies that are leading these countries. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. I would never do this because I don't want to go to jail. But I'll slap him with an open hand. I won't even ball my fist. And he would do nothing. He probably would turn his head and walk away. Like one of the little guys did with the Nick Fuentes. I don't know if y'all saw that clip. Nick Fuentes hanging out with some little trolls, and one of these dudes that's super racist let a man slap him and he walked away. Okay. Let's move on. Let's get to a couple of these situations. Let's listen to what these Islamic terrorists are saying who live in Sydney. Let's play that clip 103. This is the mentality they have. Hold on, before you start it. This is not after the shooting. This was from another situation. But this is the sentiment that they have. They're crowding and rallying together in a war cry to not assimilate to the Australian values, but to take over Australia. Roll the clip.
I'm smiling. I'm smiling and I'm happy. I'm elated. It's a day of courage! It's a day of happiness! It's a day of pride! It's a day of victory! This is the day we've been waiting for! 75 years of occupation! 15 years of blockade! What yesterday happened was the first time our brothers and sisters broke through the largest prison on earth! Occupation is the crime! Occupation is the crime! Free, free!
All right, that's enough. So, I think this was them smiling and cheering when October the 7th happened, somewhere similar to that. We gotta, I'm not trying to get myself in trouble with nobody. We got to get rid of these people. I don't know. I don't know why we are slow dragging our feet on this thing. These people are evil. They're not assimilating. They want you dead. They hate you. They hate your religion, and they're just waiting for the phone call. That's all it is. You either come here and denounce that behavior as a Muslim, denounce the behavior, or you cannot come here to America. You have to get kicked out of America. You guys are going to set yourself up for there to be a civil war, and I'm warning you, that's what's going to happen if these people keep being radicalized. What other religion is doing this except the jihadist religion? What other religion is doing this? You don't see Christians out here doing it. You don't see Jews out here doing it. You don't see Buddhists out here doing it. You don't see none of the Mormons out here doing this. You don't see nobody doing this but radicalized Islam. There's a reason why. Let's go back in the history book real quick, just in case you cowards forgot. Let's go back to the history books. Let's go to clip 104. And just to show you very clearly, what we're up against. This is kind of the stuff that they do in America in the same spirit. Roll the clip.
Courtroom video begins by showing Omar Mateen buying a ticket before walking into Pulse as clubgoers are enjoying Last Call. It's just before 2 a.m. Mateen then leaves the building, but returns less than 10 minutes later and almost immediately opens fire into the main part of the club with his semi-automatic rifle.
The FBI now believes the massacre in San Bernardino was an act of foreign-inspired terrorism. Shortly before Saeed Farouk and his wife, Tashfeen Malik, opened fire, Malik took to her Facebook page to pledge her allegiance to ISIS. The attack left 14 people dead. They were among about 80 San Bernardino County Health Department workers who were holding a holiday celebration.
What the hell is that? Oh my God! Something blew up! Something blew up! Oh my God, something happened! Holy shit!
Say Major Nidal Malik Hassan opened fire. Hassan was carrying 2 handguns, a 5.7mm pistol and a .357 Magnum revolver. Inside the processing center, the Army and the FBI are now combing Hassan's computer records, assessing his apparent attraction to inflammatory websites and this mosque in suburban Washington, one that also ministered to 2 of the September 11th hijackers, and who was once led by an imam who reportedly was investigated by the FBI.
Near the top of the World Trade Center said, "We're blanking dying," when asked what was happening, and hung up. There was screaming and yelling in the background, and a follow-up call was not answered.
Today we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
Now, at what point are we going to start being real with ourselves? And I'm not saying we should be critical of every single person that's Islamic or whatever you want to call it. But when you see these people that are openly incompatible with the American values, we have to shout it down. We have to protest against these people. We have to not let these people in our country. It's that simple. Nobody else is doing this but them. I'm just saying, nobody, look at all these terrorist attacks. Nobody's doing this stuff but them. And according to Sarah Adams, we're going to see so many more. And when it happens, it's not if, when it happens, how will we respond? Now I want to give a quick shout out to the guy who thwarted this incident. Was a bold guy. I think he was also Islamic or whatever you want to call it. And he was Muslim. He jumped on the guy and stopped him. Now, because they have a culture of wussification, he should have shot and killed the guy, but he didn't, and he let the guy keep shooting people, or his son kept shooting people. I don't know. They're not built like us. Man, if I'd have take the gun from somebody, he's dead, and I'm going after the other guy to make sure I protect the people. If I'm gonna get shot, I might as well get shot saving people instead of just standing there. But I do give him some credit because it's not his fault he's a wussy and afraid to shoot the guy. Or maybe he afraid he's gonna go to prison if he shoot this guy, because knowing Australia, they'll put you in jail when you shooting a terrorist, trying to prevent him from killing other people. Maybe he didn't know how to operate the gun. I don't know, but he should have shot this man 100 times after he took the gun from him. Let me show you him, because I still think no matter what, he's a hero. Roll the clip.
Oh! C'est un malade. Oh non, gros! Oh!
Ouais, mais il y a son pote, il va se faire tirer dessus. Il est trop con, le mec qui a l'arme. Le mec est hyper courageux. Oh. Wesh.
So first of all, these dudes are not good shots. Thank God. That's why they laying sleep right now. Probably going to hell when they wake up. But shout out to this guy. They got a GoFundMe for him if you guys want to support the GoFundMe. Bill Ackman gave $100,000 to this GoFundMe, which is incredible. But the guy was shot a few times, and he was a hero. He put his neck out there when nobody else would to protect. Now, I might try to give to this. I don't know. I gotta really see, because we've been giving away a lot of money lately. The campaigns, we've been doing a lot lately. So I may give a little bit to this if I can. But if you guys are interested, you can just go on there. We'll probably put the link in the description section if you want to give and be a part of that. But this was a crazy happening. One of the even crazier things was that one of the patrons or people who were there who survived said the police didn't do anything. That the police didn't act whatsoever. It was 20 minutes. Do we have that clip?
What happened?
Yes, there was two shooters, one on the bridge, one under the bridge, and just started to shoot for 20 minutes. They shoot, change the magazine and just shoot. Simple as that. 20 minutes, was 4 policemen there, nobody gave fire back, nothing, like they are froze, like for, it looked like 20 minutes, like, and they shoot, the guy changed magazine. I look at him all the time. I was doing my babies under me, and I look at that, and it's just rifle and a pistol, and just shoot. And the other one was under. They started to come close to the audience. I think one of the people took his rifle and shoot him. That's one of them. That's what I saw. I didn't know how much I saw, but
Who were they targeting?
oh, all the crowd, anyone, Jewish, just shoot. Doesn't matter who. Men, all kids, everyone was no.
Did they say anything?
I couldn't hear, like the shooting was so loud that we couldn't hear if they say. I was too far. Like he was on the bridge, I was near the tent. So, but I saw. I look at him. I look what he shot. I look at his rifle. He aimed. He did. He really like take his time. He should take his time. And 4 policemen there didn't give fire back. I don't understand why. Why?
All right, I want to transition real quick to the Candace Owens, Erika Kirk thing. Right, they met today. I haven't been able to talk to either one of them. I'm not trying to get in their business, but this is a very, very interesting happening, and I just want to give my thoughts. I'm super late on this because I just didn't make videos over the weekend. I've been traveling, but this is very interesting. Why do you say this is very interesting, Mr. Tatum? Because the outcome is gonna go one of two ways. The outcome is going to be that Candace Owens comes out and says that she apologized for everything that she said about Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk, and revealed to the world that everything she was saying was a lie, deceptive, and wrong. Or the other side is she's going to come out of it and it's going to get worse. She's going to come out and she's going to bash Turning Point harder. She's going to go after Erika even more. And those, to be honest, that's the only two ways it can go. Because I cannot see a scenario where Candace goes to Erika and changes her tune, because then that means that either she's, after all that she said, she's declaring and doubling down that everything she said was right, but she don't want to talk about it no more, which would be an injustice to her own logic. Or she get there and there's insufficient communication, which means that Candace believes that Erika Kirk is a liar and Erika Kirk is deceptive, and Candace is going to double down and say, I went there and she was a fraud and they didn't give me sufficient evidence, so I'm going to keep talking. Like, I can't see any other way. I can't see it going any other way. I don't see there being a situation with all that Candace has said that she says, I'm going to stop talking because Erika told me to. Unless she say, I'm doing this because I now realize that I'm destroying Charlie Kirk's legacy and I'm hurting his family. And I just don't think it's going to go that way. I don't think there's no neutral point. I don't think there's a point where Candace comes in and says, hey, I'm just going to not talk about this. It's impossible at this point, in my personal opinion, because it's like, well, why would you stop talking about it? A lot of people that follow her believe she's the only one trying to get to the bottom of this. She's the only one doing the research. She's the only one that really care about Charlie Kirk and his legacy. That Turning Point did it wrong. She has framed the argument around it. And for her to come out and do anything other than double down or remain status quo will be a problem for her. Now she comes out and she doubles down and bashes Erika Kirk. It'll be par for the course, which I'm saying that based on everything she said, all the accusations she make, it would make sense for her to say that it ain't no way in the world Erika Kirk is telling her the truth right now. And either way it go, I just think it's a weird scenario. I personally hope that somehow they can make amends and there'll be no discussion of this until after the trial. That's going to be a bad look for Candace, but I think it'll be good for both parties if that is the outcome. The doubling down outcome, the blasting Charlie Kirk's widow, I don't think is a good look. And going on and saying I'm wrong about everything I said, I don't think Candace will ever do that. I don't care if she was wrong or not. She still ain't gonna never do that. But I'm hoping that they have a chance to have communication, and at least if they could come together to fight for a common goal for Charlie Kirk's legacy, that'll be amazing. That'll be great. If they can come together and somehow convince Candace Owens to focus more so on the midterms and us winning the election and Charlie Kirk's expressed legacy, that would be great. That's the outcome that I hope for, because that's the outcome that I think is most beneficial to everybody, is that this should have never devolved to what it has become. This should have always been about Charlie Kirk's legacy. This should have always been about Charlie Kirk died. Here's what the investigators are saying. We don't have any reason to believe that they're lying based on the evidence that's presented, what we know and what we know about investigations. And therefore, all the effort and energy should have been us all coming together, doing a round table, having a discussion on what do we want for America? Charlie Kirk or not, what do we want for America? What do we need to do to make sure these devils don't get in the office again and ruin our country? That is the most important thing that we could do, 100%. And I'm hoping that the conversation that comes from this Erika Kirk, Candace Owens conversation, we'll see it when it's online. I'm pretty sure they're going to pop it up online at some point and maybe give a solution. Maybe they'll do a cease and desist. Hopefully that's the case, and hopefully we can go on and, go on with our lives, you know what I mean, in a positive way. Now, I got two more things I want to talk about. One is Marjorie Taylor Greene saw herself. So since I'm in a hotel room, I'm trying not to raise my voice and scream. But I want y'all to watch Marjorie Taylor Greene with her sorry self walk off of this interview. 11 Alive interviewed her, and they asked her real questions about the things that she's been doing and saying because she took a 180-degree turn. I don't know how this is so hard for people to acknowledge and digest. Marjorie Taylor Greene should be ashamed of herself. She should apologize, and she should return every bit of the money that she raised that she haven't used yet to the people who gave it to her or to the next candidate that the people have chosen. Because this woman is evil and she's wrong. The reason that I say this is because there's no way I or anybody with common sense would get on a television interview and walk off and quit the interview because somebody asks you basic questions about stuff you said. Roll the clip.
Tonight, a dramatic moment you'll only see on 11 Alive. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene walked out of an interview with our Zach Merchant.
That's right. So she cut that interview short when we asked her about controversial comments from the past.
I know that you've mentioned here in this interview, President Trump calling you a traitor was a breaking point for you. In the past, you've tweeted, you called Republican Congressman Bob Good a traitor. You called some Republicans who voted for President Biden's infrastructure bill traitor Republicans. You've used that language too. Do you regret that?
Yes, I've already addressed this before, and I'll stand with what I've already said. I've also been the victim of it. I was actually accused by Democrats online of being the pipe bomber on January 5th, which was such an outrageous, dangerous lie that brought death threats on me back in 21 and 22. I've also been used many times and called a traitor by Democrats in fundraising emails and campaign ads. So again, I want to reiterate, this is a two-way street, and I seem to be the only one willing to take responsibility.
And Congresswoman, in fairness, we've asked Democrats as well. We ask everybody about their past stances and past statements. But we would be remiss if we didn't ask you about this. You say you're taking responsibility for it. I just want to be really clear. Do you regret, do you apologize for saying those things?
I've already addressed this. I said it on CNN. I've said it back in 2020, and thank you. I've already addressed it.
Could you address it here again, though? And if not...
Hold on a second. I want people to understand this. I do media for a living. I go on television. I got my own podcast. Obviously, you're watching it right now. This is such a ridiculous response. Why are you on 11 Alive if you're not going to address things on the show? If you're claiming people should refer back to something you said on another show, then you should just not go on this new show. If you go on a new show, they need new clips, new video for the new audience that you are being presented to. You can't say, oh, I addressed it last week on somebody else's show. So you're going on 11 Alive to tell somebody to go back to CNN show to watch. The stuff you can say right here. It's because people are so fake and they got so much other stuff going on that they don't want to be honest. If somebody had asked me, I can't think of things that I've said, but if I call somebody a name and I said something hyperbolic against a person and I genuinely regret it, like I just regret it, why is it so hard to say, yeah, I regret that, man. I should have never said that. That was crazy for me to say it. I was upset at the time. It seemed incredibly immature for me to say that. You know, now I look back on it, it was counterproductive. I take full responsibility. I regret saying it. And I'm going to make sure that I never do it again in the future. I do regret it. It's terrible. I shouldn't have done it. If I can go back and fix it, I'd have fixed it. That's a way you respond. Or if you don't regret it, just say, I don't give up. What are y'all talking about? I said it. I meant it. I don't have no apologies for it. You want me to say it on this show? You want me to say it on the show tomorrow? I'll get on my podcast. You want me to tweet it? I don't know how many times I got to tell you. I'm going to say it again. I don't regret things that I say because I meant it when I said it. Now, I am turning a new leaf now. So I don't regret stuff that I did in good faith and I meant it. Say that then. All this jumping in hoops and trying to dodge and dip on a topic is stupid to me. Roll the clip.
Why not?
Thank you. I've already addressed it.
Ma'am, I don't want to dwell here, but I don't think you have addressed it here. If it's something you regret, I mean, could you just explain why you don't want to say it again?
I'm sorry, but I don't know why you have this motive. I don't quite understand it, but I've already addressed it, and people have thanked me, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. But this isn't an exercise that I should have to go through on every single interview, and it's quite unbecoming of you to continue to have to push that.
Ma'am, some people would argue that saying colleagues were traitors was unbecoming. I don't think this is an unreasonable question.
And see, so this is the toxic nature that I'm talking about, and now you're participating in it yourself here with 11 Alive. And so again, I think you should take responsibility of your own words, the product that you're producing here on your network. I've done my part, so I think it would be good for you to do yours.
Well, ma'am, these are your words, but it seems like we're not going to get any further here. So I do want to ask you one last question.
Oh, you know what? Thank you so much. I appreciate the interview. Hopefully, good luck.
Ma'am, are you going to run again?
She a little weird person, like a little ugly, weird person. I mean, I say ugly. Externally, she's not a very good looking person, but that's not what I'm concerned about. Who cares? You can be ugly and smart, but she's ugly on the inside to me, which projects outwardly, and therefore she present herself very ugly. Like the woman, like these people start their career being a bull in a china shop. I support Trump. I'm MAGA. They got MAGA hats. They're embarrassing their constituency on Capitol Hill, just being ultra, super cringy MAGA. They'll shout everybody down. They do all of this old foolish stuff. And then when it don't work for them no more, they want to turn another leaf and become a new person. I just would never do that, man. If somehow I change up on y'all, I'm like, look, I don't like what I'm doing. I want to be different. I'm going to tell you. Look, I want to be different. I'm finna change things. I'm not going to gaslight you when you call me out for it. I mean, I just, see, it may not bother you guys as much because you guys are not in this industry. I know how bizarrely ridiculous you have to be to end up like Marjorie Taylor Greene. There has to be something catastrophically abnormal happening in your life, or you have to be an incredibly fake person. Your internal thought process is so degenerate to completely change all of your ideas and don't justify it whatsoever. And if anybody question you about it, you gaslight them. I know what it takes to be this person that she is, and it's got to be bad. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. Like, I've been on TV multiple times, and people question me, and I've been in interviews where people challenge things that I believe, and it's like, in order for me to go down a path she's going, I have to be an evil person. I have to be such a disingenuous fake person. Because it's very easy to just say what you really meant if you meant it when you said it. Anyway, I think that's it for the day. I was going to talk about Rob Rayner, but it's been a long day. And I love you guys. And I've been running all day. I'm in D.C. I don't feel good whatsoever. I feel like I'm gonna be literally sick. The weather out here is crazy. I'm used to being in like a iguana. I'm used to being on a heat rock all day. Now I'm in negatives. It's probably like 3 degrees out here. At least it feel like it is. And I'm literally getting smoked. So, but I love you guys, and I'm here for you. The reason I'm down here is for you, right? I'm down here standing up for the American people. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys subscribing to all the channels. I appreciate you guys and all your support with Blackline Security. Verdict is coming out soon. That's a sneak peek. We got a bourbon company coming out, and you guys will know about that here soon. But Freedom Chat, thank you for all the support on Freedom Chat. We're well over 1,000 subscribers now on Freedom Chat. I love hearing from you guys. I post some behind the scenes stuff on Freedom Chat, some stuff that I've gotten today at the White House with President Trump. And I'll share that on my Freedom Chat for all of you guys that follow me there. So I appreciate you guys. God bless you. God bless America. Y'all pray for me. I feel like I'm coming down with something, but I'm going to try to fight my way through it. Y'all be good. And God bless America. I'll see y'all in the next one, man. I'm out of here.
Oh, the land of the free and